Hi everyone, this is Jo Smart from Fire Angels, here for your March Lightworker reading. February has gone really quickly and it's had some bite, hasn't it? Hasn't been the most pleasant of months. Here in the UK we've had 3 storms back to back, major wind and flooding. And now we've got the situation in Russia and Ukraine, which I know there's been obviously a lot of news coverage of, and also a lot of talk. Everyone I speak to is talking about that. Every time I look on Facebook, people are talking about that. It is really, quite a scary time. And it's very close to us in Europe. But we mustn't forget that this does happen in other places further away. We've got Ethiopia, Tigray. There's lots of stuff happening in Nigeria and Democratic Republic of Congo. So the world is not at peace. If we thought the world was at peace because of this, then we didn't have our finger on the pulse. But this does really show us that, it being so close and it being just so dreadful, that we've still got a lot of work to do for light workers. Clearly, Vladimir Putin did not get the memo that 2022 was the year of unity. And it does, can still stagger. I felt staggered that in 2022, with a global community, one man can have so much power. So we still have a lot of work to do, guys, in terms of our light worker journey, our light worker role, bringing peace to our communities, peace to our circles, but also bringing peace to the planet. So ultimately, that's what we're aiming for, isn't it? That is our ascension, that is our evolution. And I do get the feeling that a lot of people feel powerless with what's going on, and that's really easy to feel that way. Because, even though it's close, it's so far away, it's kind of in the hands of the world leaders. It's difficult to think, oh, what can we do? And so people are feeling powerless about it. But what I want to say to you today, and what I want this reading to focus on today, is you are not powerless. We, as a collective, are not powerless. We have so many things that we can use, so many tools in our toolboxes that we can use to send healing and set those intentions and create those manifestations for peace and for love, to conquer what is currently divisive and power hungry, which is completely against our ethos as light workers. So whilst you may not feel that you can do anything physical, think beyond that. Think bigger than that. Think spiritual, right? So if you're watching this and you're a light worker, you'll have a daily ritual of gratitude or of intention setting or of prayer. Then you just add this into it. Praying for peace, praying for the people of Ukraine and the people of Russia who are going to suffer, because this war isn't in their name. For the impact it's going to have, the ripple effect it could potentially have across the globe, is including that and praying for that peace and praying for that resolution and praying for healing for those people that are impacted. If you meditate, send healing intentions during your meditation. If you do Reiki or other types of energy healing, send Reiki or energy to that situation. If you do it as a Reiki share or in a meditation circle, do it together. If you're going to workshops, if you're going to church, do it together. The more people sending those intentions, either individually or as a group, as a collective, the higher the vibrations of healing are raised, and the more powerful they are being directed at where we want to send that healing and send that love and send that prayer. And that is so powerful. Do not underestimate the power of prayer and the power of positive intention setting. It is incredibly powerful. I can't think of another word to describe it other than powerful. It's powerful. You are powerful because you can do it. And the more of us that do it, the more powerful it becomes. That collective energy, that collective intention, the collective healing makes a difference. So don't underestimate your power in prayer and your power in setting intentions and sending healing. And you know, I've seen lots on Facebook of different groups setting up kind of online healing circles to send love out. You know, you can join them or you can do it on your own. It doesn't make a difference, but just do it. Do it, because that's what we're here for. That's why we work so hard on ourselves. That's why we study so much in terms of our spiritual development, so that we can do stuff like this and not be powerless. So the reading I'm going to do today, I'm just going to do a short one because I think you guys already have the answers and know what you need to do. And if you're feeling afraid to do it, or silly, or ego is saying things like, what difference is that going to make? Then all you need to do is basically get over that and pull your pants up, because you are powerful enough, you are deserving enough to be able to be part of that movement, that spiritual movement, that healing movement energetically. So it's just about casting off any of those doubts and cracking on. So I'm just going to do a very quick reading with just 3 cards, just to kind of give us that bit of motivation that we might need, that bit of a kick up the bum that we might need, to help us actually get into the zone of stepping up and stepping into our power in this situation, whilst we may feel afraid, whilst we may feel uncertain, whilst we may be incredibly sad and emotional about what we're seeing, is stepping up and turning up to do what we can. So I'm going to do Angels and Ancestors by Carl Gray, because these are really nice and grounding. And if you're feeling scared and overwhelmed by the situation, then grounding really helps us to reset and do what we need to do. And then Archangel Michael, who, like I've said before, is our individual bodyguard, but also our bodyguard as a species. So this is going to be about kind of protection in our purpose right now. So I've set the intention that we'll have 2 cards that tell us what we need to do, what we need to concentrate on in order to step into our power and believe in the healing, love and energy that we can produce and direct. So we've got a flipper. So the flipper I'm going to go to first, we've got Arrow, which is talking about surrounding ourselves with protective energy. And so I went, what was I saying about Archangel Michael? I said we already knew the answers, so this is just going to validate it for us. But what Arrow is telling us is that in order to send our energy, our healing energy, to the situation in Ukraine and Russia, or anywhere else that needs that attention, that needs that healing, we have to ground ourselves and surround ourselves in positive, protective energy. Now, one of the reasons for that is because as sensitive people, we're tuned into the you know, the global feeling, which is fear or anger or bewilderment. So that can have an impact on our thought processes and our vibrations. So we need to acknowledge that that's how everybody feels right now, but then step out of it into raising our vibrations in order to do our job. But also protect ourselves from kind of that, you know, when we open up to send that healing, make sure we close back down again and protect ourselves, so we're not constantly being bombarded with the energies that are flying around. And hey, if you want to turn the news off and watch something funny, turn the news off and watch something funny. Because if just watching the news and it going round and round and round again about it, and different academics with this opinion and different doom and gloom predictions from different people, if that is having a negative impact on you and you're struggling to focus on the light worker stuff that we can be doing, turn it off. Turn it off. That's not going to make a difference, you watching the news. What is going to make a difference is you protecting yourself and stepping into your power, like I said before, to send that healing energy. So, second card. One more shuffle. And actually this is a bit of validating. So we've got Hermit. So what we're being advised to here, as well as protect ourselves, is when we've sensed some healing, when we've been part of a meditation circle, we've done it in our own meditation or our own healing routines, is what I'm really being guided to, don't feel we have to be constantly out there doing this. 10 minutes a day individually is all it needs. Don't let it consume you. And I feel like we just have to get on with our lives as well. So we're stepping into our power, we're stepping into our purpose to send healing, and then we're retreating back to our daily lives, so it doesn't become all consuming. And like I said, we're not watching the news all of the time, sending healing to the people we're seeing queuing at the borders, or it's about a measured approach to using our gifts to support the global effort to bring peace and love to the planet. It's not you on your own. You're part of a group of light workers all over the world, a team of an army of light workers all over the world sending that. So don't carry the burden on your shoulders completely. It's not just yours, it's all of ours to share, and we are more powerful together. So do what you need to do and then retreat and get on with your daily lives. Don't allow yourself to feel guilty that you're not doing enough, because you are doing plenty. So have gratitude for the gifts that you've got that can help in this situation, and then get on with your life, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. So whether it's sending healing to places in the world of conflict, including Russia and Ukraine, or whether it's dealing with the questions that your children are asking about it, or the conversations everybody's having. And I say, well, if it's all everyone's talking about in the office, or all anybody wants to talk to you about, it's just say, I don't want to have this conversation, we talk about something else. And it's not because you don't care, it's because you're doing your own thing to help, and you don't need to be constantly bombarded with it all day, because you're going to have to recharge in order to send that healing the following day. So it's protect ourselves with energy, doing our rituals about cleansing our auras and rebuilding our auras and putting a dome of protection around us. And it's giving ourselves time to recharge and not think every 5 minutes you've got spare, you have to sit down and send healing to a situation, because you also have to look after yourself. And you can detach yourself from the situation if that's what you need to do. Like I say, by turning off the news, by turning off the TV and having a conversation with your loved ones about something else completely different. So Archangel Michael, thank you Archangel Michael for telling us what we need to know right now in this situation. And these ones I'm going to spread out. Your children are watched over by angels. What this is about in this situation is that we are all children of the source. This actually made me a little bit emotional, this card. We are all children of the divine, and we are all being watched over and loved. And when we're hurting, they're hurting, but we must never forget. So if people are saying to you, if God exists, how can this happen? Where are your angels now? Why aren't the angels interfering in Ukraine and Russia? We know the answer. We know the answer about free will and intervention, but what we can answer back now is they are there. They are there. They are holding the people up as they queue to cross the borders. They are with the families huddled in the underground bunkers, bringing support, bringing comfort, bringing protection. They are there doing exactly what they can to help us in this situation. They are whispering in the ears of the world leaders to bring this conflict to a peaceful resolution. But we are responsible for our own behaviours as humans. We are responsible. We can't blame the divine. This is all human stuff going on right now, but they are there. They are there, and the more you pray and the more energy you send, the more powerful they become, wrapping their wings around all of those people that are hurting, that are struggling, that are scared, that are being displaced, that are being injured, that are being bereaved. They are there. They are being watched over. We are being watched over by the divine. And all of the angels and the celestial beings that are attached to the divine, because we are all connected. So your prayers matter, your prayers count, and your prayers make a difference. So that's all I'm going to say today. Thank you for listening, and I wish peace and love to all of you in this time, because this time will end. Things will get better. Feels like it's been a bit of a slog the last few years, but we aren't on our own with it, ever. So stay safe, love and light, and I'll see you in April.